Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Monday the 16th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. So got up this morning, got a couple things done, nothing major, got the dog outside, didn't have any dogs at the house, which was pretty nice to have. Kind of felt different, feels weird, and it is what it is. So I got up, got around though, got a couple things taken care of. My wife got off to work, had a dog meet and greet I was trying to schedule, didn't come to effect. I told them I wasn't going to do it on the weekend. They tried to schedule it like last Monday for like the weekend, and I'm like, no, because I don't do weekend schedules anymore for meet and greets, because I've had to make people flake out, and then I give up part of my weekend with my wife's off work, and that's just not what we do anymore, because other people have ruined this. We stopped doing it, and they seemed very put out and very disgusted by the fact. So I figured they were going to not want to use me afterwards anyway for anything, so I was like, cool, whatever. So reached out to them today, like, hey, when do you want to try and do this meet and greet? And then never heard back from, which is also a reason why I wasn't willing to take a chance at losing my Sunday or whatever, or Saturday with this whole process. So got up though, got a couple of things done, had to run over and feed some cats. So in the process, I was like, okay, not that big a deal. I reached out to another gentleman who wanted to do a meet and greet today, because he's supposed to do it. He's changed schedule on two meet and greets so far, which is also, he's one of the reasons why I don't schedule on weekends. So we had it scheduled for this morning. So I texted him and stuff and said, hey, here's where I'm at, what time can you be here? Or we can do it this afternoon if that worked better for you, kind of thing. Because if he couldn't get here quickly, I didn't want to wait around all day. Like, I didn't want like a noon, meet and greet. Like, that wasn't going to work for me for what my day was trying to be planned. So he texted back eventually as I was finally gave up. I'm like, the hell thing, I haven't heard from him. It's been like an hour at this point. And he finally texted back and goes, I'll do it this evening. I'm like, okay, cool. I should be home and free by, 7 o'clock. I'll let you know about vlogs. I knew I had some houses to look at tonight at like 5 and 5:30. So even if it ran long, 5:30, we're looking at the house, we're done by 6. I'm back home. It gives me time to get a run in real quick and get a shower, and then I can meet the guy at 7. And then I finished stuff, didn't hear nothing else another day, so I think we're kind of on for that. Midday, he texts and says, how about we do it tomorrow? And I'm like, motherfucker, we're gonna keep, like, you need your dogs watched in just a few days. Like, if your dogs suck and they get here and I don't want to watch them, like, you're kind of no time to find somebody else. And I don't know if that's part of his thought is, if he's going to try and guilt me into, like, feeling like he has no time to meet anybody else, kind of thing and whatnot. But not my problem. I try to meet you like the day you made the first appointment, or set up the day to actually need your dogs watched. That way back weeks ago, I set this up and tried to meet your dogs that day. And you've missed 3 appointments now with me to do this that we've had scheduled in the books, and you went out. So if your dogs suck, too bad. Especially in the fact they're both pit bull mixes. Like, I'm not gonna have shitty pit bull mixes here, because I've got other dogs I'm watching, and I'm not going to have things separated out. It's just not worth the hassle of all that. So went ahead, said to hell with it. Got that fun stuff done. Got that taken care of. So I just gave up on him. I went and fed the cats. When I was waiting for him to hear back from him, I loaded my motorcycle up on the back of my truck. I drug out my bumper hitch mount, motorcycle carrier, whatever you want to call it. And it basically slides into my receiver hitch, and then you basically strap the motorcycle onto it. You roll it up on the ramp, tie it down, and I haven't done it in 5 years, maybe, probably 5 years since I've strapped a motorcycle on one of these. And I've never strapped. Mine's technically a street bike, so it's a little more awkward. It's a little more, plastics to scuff up and scratch up, which I don't really give a shit about the plastics. But don't have as much. It doesn't have as soft a suspension. So on a dirt bike, you can really compress the suspension way down, which then makes the bike feel tighter on the rack, so it doesn't have as much movement. Where this one doesn't have as much. So I went ahead, got it out, got it all strapped up, got it all bolted in, and feels solid. So I'm like, let's go ride Tiger Bay. So took off, went and fed the cats, had the motorcycle at the back of the truck there, stopped every little bit, checked it first few times, hadn't moved at all. The straps were all 100% good, so I thought I was safe. Got the cats fed. Last time I was feeding the cats, so I left a note saying, hey, please text me when you get home, let me know you made it back, so I don't have to worry about the cats and stuff and all that good fun and whatnot. So headed up. Also had to stop by Port Orange to drop off some soda and hot chocolate to my father-in-law. I texted him before I left to go feed the cats and said, hey, I'm heading up to bring you some stuff. And he said he was going to be gone. He was going to lunch, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just drop it off in your room. And he said, leave it out in front of the door. So I did. Went up there, kind of looked in the dining hall area and didn't see him real quick. And said, hell, then just peaced out. So I want to go riding. So went ahead, dropped that stuff off, jumped back in the truck, headed up to Tiger Bay, and had to stop and get fuel because I was like probably, I don't know, 2/3 tank, a little below half, but above a quarter. So about a third tank of gas on my bike. I thought, well, don't know where I'm going, don't know how I'm going to be there, and it's easier to have a full tank. So stopped in at the new 7-Eleven, topped it off with fuel, and their hoses are insanely short, like so short. It was ridiculous how short they were, to the point that like I'd backed up near the tank and stuff there, and because my gas tank on the motorcycle technically on the driver's side, I pulled up my passenger side thinking, oh, it wasn't that big a deal, because most hoses will reach across the car even, and I was a couple feet forward of it, and I had to like pull the cord the whole time as I was putting gas in the tank. Like I couldn't, it was just stretched out, like this is ridiculous. So couldn't move the truck back further. I could, backed in differently. I could have, came in the way, but the pull-in spots are kind of, the parking lot's small there. So said to hell with it. Got that done though. I got it taken care of, got it filled up. Headed up, got to Tiger Bay, and did not know where I was going. Had no idea where it was. Was told to use the parking area off of such and such road and whatnot. So I get there, and it's just like there, it says office. I go check to see if I need to buy like a day pass use, or I don't know, permits I got to have. I don't know, like this kind of crap. So there's really nothing on the website. It says it's a great place to go birding and fishing and hunting and hiking and biking and horseback riding stuff, but nowhere does it say you can drive your Jeeps around here or drive your street legal motorcycles around and stuff. All I keep seeing is no ATVs. No ATVs. It has to be registered vehicles to be out in these areas and stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I unload the bike, and according to the map, it looks like I take off behind the offices, and nope, I get it all unloaded. I go look back at the offices, and the gates chained shut. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And my buddy had kind of told me about the Tiger Bay. I'd heard about it from him. He said go ride Woody's Loop or something. I think it's Woody's Loop. But I was like, okay, so look at the map, and it was down the road a little way, so I had to get back on the highway and run down there and stuff, so no big deal. As I jumped on the highway, I looked over and saw there's another road, the old DeLand Highway or something, old brick highway. So I turned down it, and then I end up back on a dirt road path kind of area stuff, and I get to the thing that says you're heading into the national park area, Tiger Bay Park, and please sign in, tell us what you're doing stuff, and like it has hunting, fishing and stuff, just sightseeing, whatever stuff. And I'm like, well, I guess bike, I don't know. It's like, I think they meant bicycle, but I'm on 2 wheels, so you had to register your license plate number, what time you check in, how many people are in your party. So I did all that stuff, took off down the road, found the first little like offshoot, like a little kind of more of a trail to the timber, less of a road. And as I get down into it about 12 feet, it says no vehicles. Son of a bitch. So I turn around, come back, get to the next one, no vehicles. Get to the next one, no vehicles. Get to the next one, no vehicles. And apparently it turns out they are all just like fire breaks, and which how a 9-foot wide path of forest is going to be a fire break, I do not know. But it's because the winds we have here during our fire season is just insane, so that's not going to make a difference. But I think it's for the fire trucks and stuff and the whatever to get to help try and fight these fires. But I don't see why they're not letting us ride on them also, because part of me thinks we'd actually help pack them down in trucks and Jeeps and stuff if we don't waller them out, obviously. Tell people, if you respect these, we'll be fine. Especially myself on a motorcycle, doing nothing to nobody. But so I basically find one of the paths, which I don't think I'm actually supposed to be on, but there's no sign yet saying not to be on it. So I'm on it because I'm like going for it. Found out later, I talked to one of the forest guys, and basically told me I have to stay on named roads only, which means like I could drive my Focus back there. Like 95% of the time I could drive my Ford Focus back there, and not where I gotta find. So I gotta find better places to ride. So, but I end up down a couple spots, end up getting stuck a couple times, like deep enough stuck in the mud that the bike just stands up on its own, no kickstand needed, no nothing. Digging myself out. My boots I haven't worn in years. They just deteriorated. I mean, all my buckles, but 2 broke on one boot, and all but 1 broke on the other boot. Just the sole fell off my right boot. It was only held on by the toe, so it was just flopping in the wind and stuff. I put my foot back in the peg. I had to like drag my foot back by the tire and pull it forward to put the foot there, and that came off in the mud. So I was trying to pick my bike up out of the mud, and the sole got stuck, and I ripped my sole right off my boot, and it was comical. It was comical at best. I had brought myself a liter of water. I was good. I had some cell signal in different spots and stuff. I had a couple times, like I said, I got stuck. One part I got stuck so bad I couldn't get the bike out, and the mud was soft enough right there that as I was trying to lift the bike up, I was sinking about as far as I was lifting the bike up. I was like, oh crap, this sucks. So I couldn't figure out how to get it out. I was just like, here we go, whatever, blah, blah. And finally just gave up and said to hell with it. Just shoved the bike over onto its side. And it had already fallen over once before as I was trying to get out of a different mud hole and stuff. So I picked it back up already in that, and I couldn't get it out. So I finally said hell with it, just chucked it onto its side, and then grabbed it and drug it. Because on its side, I could drag it sideways, not to lift up and then move. Lift up and then move. I could just drag sideways. So that actually worked surprisingly really, really well. So drug the bike over, got it up onto a little bit solider ground, not real solid. Finally got back out of there and decided, okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of play a little safe. I don't have any like recovery ropes. I don't have nothing out here. I'm by myself, and I just really don't want to have to try and walk out here with a broken boot with no heel, no sole on it, no nothing. So I kind of thought, well, I'm gonna stick to a little bit more safer roads. So I head down the road to the Woody's Trail, and I could drive my car on it. I guarantee I can drive my truck on it. And I'd bet $100 I could make my car around there also on that trail. And that's what the guy told me I should go check out. I'm like, oh, that's kind of lame. Like, I'm looking for a little more difficult spots here than this. So I got to find a little more technical stuff than that. So we'll see what happens. But I also need new tires. I know I need different off-road tires because these road tires are crap. So rode there, then I headed back. I actually aired down when I got stuck in the mud over there in the first spot. And I aired down enough that it was a little bit sketchy on the highway, doing like 65, 70. So I basically ran on up the road to the next spot and ran around, did a little bit, had a little out and back, and nothing special. I think it'd be a nice place to hike around on foot, but really not fun on the motorcycle. I'll go back there and ride up on the other side to hit a bunch of the roads I'm not supposed to be on. I'll go ride those again. Until I get told I can't be on there or see a sign that says I can't be on there, I assume I can ride through the woods. So that's what I'm going to go with, and hope the fine is not too hefty if I get busted, and go that route, because I can't imagine it's very expensive. At least first offense, I can't imagine it's very high, but we'll see what happens. But I got to find somewhere a lot more technical to ride in this, because this was pretty lame. But it was still fun. It was good to be out there. I kept forgetting the fact I was on street tires and kept getting myself in some pretty sketchy shit. And that's what I like to ride. I like to ride in sketchy shit. So while I was out there, as I was getting ready to ride and stuff and riding a little bit, I got a text from a client wanting me to watch their dog next few days for daycare. She broke her arm, I guess, whatever. And so I asked her if we could do a meet and greet. She said yes. And went ahead, and we were talking to the fact that I said I'm out in the woods and riding my motorcycle, so if I stop by the way back, I'm going to be dirty and sweaty and stuff. And she said, absolutely understand completely, you know, because I'm wearing a t-shirt with holes cut in to get my arm through my broken arm. So and I'm like, understand, no big deal. So I basically, after I got done, I wrapped up, I texted her and said I'll be like 25 minutes out. She said 100% good. Roll up in with the gate code to the apartment complex, whatever. Get in there, and it says in building 3. They're not the best labeled where they're at. So I go up in there, and she's going to come downstairs and meet me. And I told her I was in a blue truck with a motorcycle hanging on the back, and can't find him. Keep texting them like, hey, I'm over here by the grill, I'm over here by this, I'm over by that. Can't find him and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is it doing here? And eventually we find each other. She's at the other end of the building, and we finally meet the dog. Dog's fine. She actually tried to get me to. Really? Why can't I follow that fucking guy? But so dumb son of bitches. But so I basically finished up. I'm like, I got other stuff today I can't do, so that doesn't work. So I can't take the dog today. But I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up. They want me to pick it up and stuff too. So that's all good to go there. From there, we basically I head on home. Had to unload the motorcycle real quick. I went and got my running real fast because I want to get that done, and did not have time for a shower or anything else at all in there because I had to go meet with a real estate agent to look at a couple houses. We had one scheduled for 5 and then one scheduled for 5:30. Went and looked at them, and they both would work. Neither one is great, but they're adequate, I guess, at best. So we're like, okay, whatever, no big deal. So I went ahead and stuff. We got back home. We looked at the house and stuff. We got home. We got a shower. We got to eat some supper, and we're all good to go there. End up having a nice little meal. We watched a little NCIS. Karen and I got talking. We decided to put an offer in on the second house, and it's just a gap filler house. That's all it's going to be. It's nothing great. It's nothing special. It's just where we're going to sit until we can get her father out of assisted living, and then from there we can start building ourselves a house we actually want to have. So it's a gap filler house is all it is going to be, but it is what it is. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. Oh, we did get the paperwork all signed on it. We got the contract sent to them, the offer sent in. Always got to see if they accept it or not. So who knows? So anyway, that's all I got for right now. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.